Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first Breakfast Buddies online of 2022. Wow. Well, as you will see, I've got a couple of my lovely colleagues with me this morning. So if you haven't seen any of our online stuff before, I'm Jasmin. I'm a conversation starter at the Yard. And I'm joined by the lovely Beth. How are you this morning, Beth?
Hello, everybody. I'm okay, thank you. How are you, Jasmin?
Yeah, good, thank you. And at the bottom there is our Rachel. How are you this morning, Rachel?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good.
All
So,
calm, yes.
You're calm?
Yeah, nice and relaxed today.
Oh, good. I like that. I like to be feeling calm on a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
This is our first Breakfast Buddies of 2022. So how was your Christmas, ladies? Did you both have a good one?
Yeah, it was nice, to be honest. I think this year is the first year where I haven't really done a lot, but it was quite nice. I think because in my family we've not got any little children, so it's quite different to probably how yours was, Jasmin.
Yeah. So I imagine yours was a much more relaxing morning, at least.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Rachel, did you have a good one?
Yeah, so it's a nice little cozy Christmas with my friend and her baby. So
nice.
even though she's a year old, it was like her first time experiencing it as a child. So what about that?
Oh, lovely. It feels like it's absolutely ages ago now, though, doesn't it? Like what Christmas? We sort of feel like we're midway into Jan. Manole says, "Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Hope you
Happy New Year!"
So, did either of you or did anyone watching make any New Year's resolutions? Does anyone do that? Do you think it's a good thing? You don't bother. You always break them. Rachel, what about you?
I don't really see the point of New Year's resolution because I never stick to it because it's something like you say, but you give yourself expectations that are just too high, and it's just small goals.
Yeah,
it's much better.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Beth? Did you make any?
I mean, I always try to. Like mine this year was to try and eat breakfast every morning because I'm so bad. Some days I'll just leave it until lunchtime and then I'm like, oh, I'm actually really hungry now.
It's not good for your body to do that. Having breakfast kicks off your metabolism. You need to get your day started with some breakfast. They say eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and dinner like a prince, or something like that, don't they? It's like breakfast is like the most important meal of the day. So is it going well so far? Have you had breakfast?
It's going well so far. And the thing is, I have the time to do it, so I don't know why.
I know, it's funny, isn't it? So I don't really make New Year's resolutions. I always try to start off January. So I'm attempting dry January. Now, this is very loosely because I just feel like I overindulged in everything over Christmas and New Year. So my husband's doing dry January. I'm going to try and do half dry January. So I didn't have any alcohol this past weekend, and I'm going to try and at least do one more weekend because I felt so much better for it. Had so much more productive. Better, my mindset was better, my mental health was better. It's unbelievable, actually. Don't get me wrong, I love having a glass or two of wine, but it really does affect so many different areas of your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm back on my healthy eating plan, which I'm not calling a diet, just healthy eating and trying to be consistent with my exercise. So, I mean, like, I think half the nation are, don't they?
Definitely.
I think I said to you guys before, like I do these boot camps in my village on a Wednesday night and a Saturday morning. And Wednesday night, the first one back of this year, there's loads of people there. Like, it was quite funny because, you can tell it's January. Everyone's getting into there, right, I'm going to get fit this year. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat well.
Gyms must be absolutely raking it in January. It must be in their first year, and then it just goes down towards December. Maybe a slight lift in the summer.
Yeah, and I always hear, I mean, I'm not a gym member, but people, like my little sister's a gym member, and people who are sort of consistent gym members get really annoyed, don't they, in January, because there's a massive influx of people who are like, right, this is it, new year, new me. And, I think like gyms where there's limited sort of equipment, you can't get on the machines you want to use, and it makes it a lot a lot harder. But it's sort of January starts like that, and then it's a slow decline, isn't it? So my aim is just to be consistent with. I'm not calling it a New Year's resolution. I'm just going to try and be the best version of me that I can. Give it a couple of weekends and a couple of more stressful weeks with the kids. I'll be back on the Prosecco, no doubt. But I'm giving it a shot, seeing how long I could go. But it's interesting, and a lot of people really like setting themselves those goals for New Year, don't they? And other people can find it demoralising if you don't end up sticking to it. So I think it's whatever works for you. Is the way to go. So actually, just before we kick off into our first bit of news we're going to talk about, we didn't do our internal weather. I mean, we can't start off an online breakfast studies without our internal weather. It just wouldn't be right, would it? So let's kick off then. So Beth, what is your internal weather? How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling a bit misty today, a bit like outside. I'm feeling quite tired. I slept very late last night because I had some uni work that I needed to submit, which...
Did you get it done?
I did get it done, to the last minute, but I was there like,
Oh, at least it's done now. It's one thing off your list, definitely. Yeah. How are you feeling today, Rachel? How's your internal weather?
Like I said, I feel quite relaxed. Like, I woke up feeling refreshed, which is quite weird for me. Usually I feel groggy and in pain. So I'm making the most of it where I'm like, hey, I can do stuff. So I'm going to try and go out today and go to the hub with my friend and a baby, and then actually make the most of my body to be able to go into climbing and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Do bits while you can and you're feeling up to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What about you?
I'm feeling good today. I'm all right. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm feeling quite a positive mindset. So I'd say that my internal weather is there's like quite a big sunshine in the sky, maybe a few clouds scattered about, but I'm definitely feeling quite sunshiny. So I mean, it is only the 11th of January. Give me another week and I'll probably be like back to like storms and black clouds. Being positive and being like sunny. So yeah, I'm feeling all good today. Thank you. Apart from the weather outside, and I've got to go for a dog walk.
Oh yeah,
miserable.
Isn't it? I know it is miserable, but it's not as cold today. So I guess you've got to take a little win, haven't you? It's been freezing, hasn't it?
Yeah,
so cold, but so mild over Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, definitely.
Mild. There was definitely no chance of us getting any snow, was there? Because it was just so mild. Okie dokes then. Right, let's kick off. So there's a couple of things going on in Northampton, or that's happened that we thought that we would talk about. So the first one, have you guys heard about this massive fossil that they found at Rutland Water?
No.
I did see it. I've got it there for you.
So look at this. So Rutland Water, how did we pronounce it?
It's pronounced ichthyosaur
fossil, the largest found in the UK.
Picture of it.
Yeah, that picture with the man laying next to it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely huge.
Wait, how long? The 10-meter long fossil. Wow. It's about 180 million years old.
Oh, and it's similar in shape to a dolphin, and it's known as a sea dragon. That is mental. There is a picture.
That one.
Is it not on that one, Beth? Yeah. With the man laying next to it. Just shows it's huge.
Oh, yeah, it's at the very beginning.
Is it?
Paleontologist.
Oh, yes. If you look at that man laying next to that is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just up the road at Rutland Waters. I've actually never been there. Have you?
No, I haven't.
No, I've heard it's quite a nice. I think it's like a nice walk, and I don't know if there's a bit of a play area for kids, but largest in the UK. So that's insane, isn't it?
Fossils are so interesting, aren't they? Amazing how that's still able to be in the ground and be found like all these years later. He's feeling very proud of himself right now.
Yeah. I wonder how he found it though, just like casually. Does it say? It's casually like, having a little, he must have been digging or something, surely.
Yeah.
How old?
Anglian water.
It's like I'd look down to see what seems like stones or ridges in the mud. I said this looks a bit organic, a bit different. And then we saw something that almost looked like a jawbone. So just been a little bit nosy, like, oh, what's this down here? Which is quite interesting.
It was discovered by Joe Davis, Conservation Team Leader at Leicester and Rutland Wildlife Trust, during the routine draining of a lagoon island for re-landscaping.
Oh, wow.
In February last year.
Oh. Well, we've only just heard about it now.
Maybe they weren't sure if it was like the full thing or not.
Yeah, they probably had to sort of get the whole thing put together, like, you know.
Yeah, probably had to, I think it said here about Anglian Water and now seeking funding to protect and display the remains nearby.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. That's just crazy, isn't it?
Crazy.
Yeah, look at it. It's just insane. So
it's
interesting.
Amazing to think how many more of these kind of things are probably out there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't even know that are yet to be found.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because there's actually another news article about an archaeologist found some Roman settlements in Northampton as well.
Oh, what's that one then?
I don't know how to share it. Let me see if I can share this. But it was found near the villages Edgecote and Shipping Warden.
Oh, Shipping Warden. Oh, okay. What did they find?
Let me see. Does this work? No. I can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Yay.
And so it's very cool. So also, this is what they found. It's basically an Iron Age village that was formed more than 30 round house, and it was established in 400 BC. And it was seen as a wealthy Roman trading town. And what's really cool is also 10 meters, 33 foot wide Roman road, which is quite exceptional in size. Yeah. And also they found some really, as they say here, beautifully preserved wells. And the earth was quite fiery red colour, so that shows signs of use of like bread making and maybe some smithing, metal work.
Yeah.
And they also found some coins, like artifacts, glass vessels, pottery, jewellery, and makeup.
Oh wow!
Which is really interesting. So I was like kind of mind blown at that. And it's actually seen as one of the most impressive sites from someone in the Museum of London Archaeology.
Wow!
So we're making a mark.
And its name on the map with all this these archaeological findings, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing
it right. To keep the things that they find though, so that we can actually see them in town.
And
then encourage other people to come and visit Northampton.
Yeah.
You know, that would be good.
We're doing all right. I'm quite proud of Northampton for one.
Yeah.
Finding some really good piece of history.
Yeah, nice to have something like nice in the news that's going on in Northampton, you know.
Yeah.
So quite often the opposite. Oh wow, that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Rachel.
Yeah, no way.
Cool. So something else that's popped up in the Chronicle and Echo when we were looking to see, you know, what's going on in Northampton, and I don't know if you two have heard about this. So the Hope Centre's CEO has urged people to think twice before giving sort of money to homeless people. Have either of you seen this article?
Oh,
I did see
it actually.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's saying the charity is concerned that some claim to be homeless to fund other needs. So before we go too much into this article itself, do you two, if you pass someone homeless on the street, do you generally give money, or what's your...
I avoid giving money, but if anything, I offer to buy food. And if they are insistent on money, then I say no, because I know I could potentially be funding habits that shouldn't be funded, and it's not going to help them. It's only going to make it worse.
Yeah.
But I have thought to myself, like back to the New Year's, if maybe have a, you know, like a Greg gift voucher but also give that to them, like, here's a £5 voucher. That way you know it's going to go to food at least.
Yeah.
And they can pick what they want, which will be nice.
Yeah, that's a great idea. What about you, Beth?
I think I'm similar to Rachel in that if I have change, I will give change, but I do prefer to be like, can I get you a drink? Can I offer you some hot food? Is there anything that I can get for you? I know once when I first joined you at the yard, we had these rucksacks made up with like socks in them, sleeping bags, different things like that. So I think doing things like that as well is just a better
that's the rucksack project that we do at the yard, that we you know, we fill rucksacks and we go and give them out to the homeless, because obviously it feels, I mean, I'm of the same opinion as you guys. I prefer not to give money. I prefer to go and buy them a drink, a hot drink, something to eat. There are times I have given money, but without sounding too harsh, I'm skeptical sometimes, because I remember it's a few years ago now, there was a programme on, you know, BBC, ITV, and it followed, this was in London, so again, it's different to Northampton. It followed people who were on the street sort of begging, and, you know, they were secretly filming, and there was so many people that sort of would sit there, people would give them money. At the end of the day, they get up, walk a few streets away, go and get in their car and drive home. Now, I know that's probably few and far between, but just that itself has sort of made me feel a bit wary of giving the actual money, you know. Morning, Sophia. Hope you're okay.
Sophia.
Good morning.
So that's why I do prefer to buy, like you say, a hot drink or some food, because there are, unfortunately, with all these things, there are people out there who are doing this not for the, you know, the right reasons. So just going back to the article, so it's Robin Burgess, who's the chief executive of the Hope Centre, who has
wait, isn't that your Converse, Beth?
My shoes on the screen. So many adverts on the Chronicle and Echo. It's like all over.
Oh, just like Bianca. Good morning, Bianca.
Morning, everyone. Right.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday. Happy birthday to your mum, Beth.
Thank you.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, I didn't know. Happy birthday to your mum.
Centre at the moment. So you might I know, so you might recognise us. We're on the top floor. We're opposite, so I'm just walking around. We're opposite Claire's accessories. Yeah, so she said, wandering there, showing where you are. Yeah. And
that's amazing.
The idea about it is that we want to find out what people think about Northampton, how safe it is. And we began this piece of work with Beth, doing our community circles, and we're kind of following on from that. So we've got some maps, we've got some stickers. If you're a young person, or you know a young person, or you was a young person once, come along to the Grosvenor Centre. Come along, meet Amy and Amy. Tell us your story about what's safe but what isn't. So we can help build a safer town centre for you. You don't have to speak to me, that's optional. I'm only here for a little bit. We've got Zishan from the Peace and Crime Commission team. They're doing detachable youth work all across the county. So it's great to have a chat with him. And the two Amy's, there's nothing they don't know about Northampton. So it really is a fantastic, let me just show them, they're there, already being fantastic. They're smiling, they think they don't know everything, but I know they do. So I know it's a rainy day, but maybe at lunchtime you pop into town, or maybe you're going to be walking through town at home later. Pop in, let us know your point of view. That's it. That's my plug. Now that I've interrupted your nice flow of conversation. You're welcome. You're welcome, lovely humans. All right, I'm going to vanish now. But keep being awesome. And if Emily is watching this at all, Emily, you've got a bad back. Really sorry to hear that. Get well soon, and we'll see you again at the yard when you're better. Right. Adios, little goes. See you all later.
Bye.
Bye. Honestly, this whole StreamYard thing's funny, isn't it? Where were we? Let's go back to, so we're talking about, so the CEO of the Hope Centre, Robert Burgess, is concerned that people are misinterpreting what they see into thinking that homelessness is worse than it really is. And it says in the article that his concern comes from accounts of individuals that are seen to be on the streets but are not actually homeless. And it's including people who are begging at cash points, which is really quite sad, isn't it? So in his article, Mr. Burgess says, we should firstly be kind and compassionate wherever we can. People who beg have got their needs, and I'm in no way suggesting you should be anything but kind to them. The needs can be because they're desperately poor. They may have addictions to drugs or alcohol, or other challenges have led them to beg. But there are also cases where kind-hearted people are told the person is homeless so they can have money. One person said to someone, the Hope Centre is full. If you can give me £8, then I can get into a hostel for the night. But in reality, the Hope Centre doesn't provide accommodation, so that's just simply not true. And it's a real shame, isn't it, when obviously there are people out on the streets who are desperate, are homeless, do need that, bit of change and whatnot. And then there's the people who are just sort of trying to play the system, so to speak. So I guess that's just something for us all to be mindful of, isn't it? And I guess like what we've said already, if you can buy them a drink or some food as opposed to giving them cash, then that's always a safer bet, isn't it? And if you offer them food or a hot drink and they decline it, then perhaps there's a reason why that is.
I think this article, I was reading it and I was thinking, that makes sense. But then I got to this bit where it says people can be on the streets for all kinds of strange reasons. And I thought, really? Strange reasons? Is that the correct way to approach this after you've given a big spiel about people who might not be homeless or taking money? And I'm thinking, strange reasons is not really the best way to articulate why people are on the street.
Absolutely. That's not the best phrase to use, is it?
You're kind of like adding a negative connotation to that with using that phrase.
Yeah. But then I haven't read the whole article yet, but then I've just seen the paragraph underneath where it says it is your choice ultimately, but encouraging them to find help is the best thing you can do for them. Well, hold on a sec. Not everyone is able to, someone says, have you got any spare change, please? Are then going to then say, sorry, I'm not going to give you some spare change, but what I am going to do is what you should be doing. I don't think that's very helpful. That's just not very helpful. Do you know what I mean?
Unless you've got really specific local knowledge that places like the Hope Centre and the other like housing places are available, then what are you supposed to do? Be like, sorry, no, you might not be homeless, so I can't help you. That's a bit of a silly paragraph. It's just derogatory, really.
Yeah, it is. But I guess it's just not regardless, but I think ignore what they've written. Those two sort of paragraphs, which seem very ridiculous to me, to be honest. But just like we say, if you want to do something for homeless people, then trying to buy food or drink is the best thing you can do. Because in all honesty, there are a lot of homeless people on the streets, whether Northampton like to admit it or not. There are a lot of genuine homeless people, and I mean, it's not so cold today, but some of the temperatures that we've seen over the past sort of few weeks, which have been absolutely freezing, it's horrendous to think of people having to be on the streets in that, isn't it? Okay, so moving on. So there's a couple of that we've spoken really sort of about Northampton, haven't we? So we'll move on and speak about a few things that are going on. Oh, actually, Rachel, you had something about.
So I had a news article that was posted a day ago about a Paralympic swimmer named Will Perry, who represented England for Japan 2020 Olympics.
And
Yeah, so he's from Northampton, and basically the gist of it is he's very upset that from being pretty much seen as a hero from representing to now things going back to normal, it kind of gone from day and night where he's respected to now being back to being ridiculed again just because he has dwarfism. So he has a form of dwarfism called I really am sorry if I can't pronounce it properly. It's achondroplasia, and that type of dwarfism is seen on television, film, and he kind of put out an appeal. And I like to say he is only 21 years old, so I commend him a lot for being able to speak up about such a sensitive topic. But he's speaking up to say that he's fed up with the public abuse, and he would like people who are also have dwarfism to become more out there and put themselves out there in town to raise awareness that it's not just an entertaining thing to see. They are human. We have emotions, and we deserve respect. And if you see anyone being ridiculed, please stand up for them. So that was just a nice little story, and very, very touched by him. So well done for Will for speaking up about stuff like that, and well done for doing the Paralympics, because
I mean,
that's amazing in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And how horrendous that he was praised when he was doing the Olympics and representing his country. But now, you know, in sort of normal day-to-day life, now people feel it okay to ridicule him. That's just shocking, isn't it?
It's really sad.
And I think it happens a lot, doesn't it? Because I think I remember reading something, is it Peter Dinklage, who's in Game of Thrones? He's been off. I mean, I read something the other day, and when he was first got into acting, he was only offered positions of like dwarfs and small like roles. Characters. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not what.
He actually has talent. Like, he can act really well.
Well, he's not defined by his height, is he?
No.
He shouldn't be defined by his height, and that's the, you know, it's a real shame, actually. And I guess a bit like, I'm going a little bit off on a tangent here, but just before we come online, I had This Morning on, and they had Rose, you know, the deaf girl who won Strictly.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just saying, you know, she was just talking about when she was growing up, you know, because so many, apparently she's been contacted by so many people, young people who dance, who are deaf, who just say, thank you, you're a role model for us now, we've got someone to look up to. And she was saying that, you know, when she was younger, she didn't have anyone to look up to in the sort of, you know, the spotlight, so to speak, someone famous. And I guess it could be perhaps similar for this. We need someone of what was the guy's name? Will.
Will, yes.
Yeah. You know, perhaps to be that person for the younger generation. Do you know what I mean?
To advocate for them.
Yeah, to advocate for them, because it's not okay. And it just makes me really sad that people even think it's okay to do that to people. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he's inspired me, and I'm much older than him, and it shows that he definitely put that definition of my disability doesn't define me by being able to compete. And it's a shame that by defining that and saying this is who I am, he's gone back and then they're defining him by disability again. And it's just really sad. But great to have a role model like him now.
Definitely. What did he do at the Paralympics? Did you say he was a swimmer?
Yes, so I believe he competed in I'm not really great with the names of them, but like or something.
Oh, okay. No, definitely. And hopefully maybe by raising some awareness of his story, that might start, you know, people to...
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, right. Moving on then from Northampton and something, well, there's a couple of things that I'm guessing we all know that we're going to talk about because it's all over the news and it's all going on. So first of all, let's talk about this party at number 10 then.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, every day something else is sort of leaking out, isn't it? And so today I saw that there's now an email. Someone's leaked to the email. So one of the senior aides of Boris emailed 100 staff members at the 10 Downing Street and invited them. And the email does say, because apparently it was a lovely day, let's make the most of this lovely weather and let's have a socially distanced drinks in the garden. Bring your own booze. And out of that 100, apparently 40 people attended, 2 of which were the Prime Minister and his wife. And it so happens it was on the day an MP went on TV and told us that you can only meet one other person outside. That was the rules at that point. That's how strict it was. Now
50 minutes. 50 minutes later, they had their party.
Yeah. So he went on TV, this MP, and made his speech about it's just one person, 2 people can meet, that is it. And 50 minutes later, they went and sat in the Downing Street garden and had drinks. Yeah. Now, how does this make you guys feel?
Frustrating. It's just outrageous. I find... Go on, Rachel.
Sorry. It's frustrating that it is one rule for us and then not for them. And I don't think they understand that they're not immune to the virus compared to us. So the same problem still applies to them. And they're still spreading it and everything. So, but you go, Beth.
What about you, Beth? What do you think about it all?
I saw it on BBC News, and the first thing that it says on the article is this for real? And I think that just summarises exactly how I feel. I'm like, really? Like, what else is going to come out that...
I mean, it's actually unbelievable, isn't it? When our country was in a state of crisis last year, when we were all feeling so scared about this virus, missing loved ones. I mean... Just on the TV this morning on Good Morning Britain, they had 2 members of the public on.
Yeah.
One lady, on the day they held their garden party, her father died in hospital of COVID. She couldn't see him. And another lady, her son died in hospital and only she was allowed in to see him. You know, he didn't get the dad, the brothers, because the rules were so stringent and they were so strict. And then when you hear, I mean, I feel angry, I feel frustrated with it all, but I am really lucky that I haven't lost a loved one through this pandemic. But if you imagine having lost a loved one on the same day that Boris holds a drinks garden party, I cannot even imagine the fury, the upset, how you feel. It's disgraceful. It is absolutely disgraceful. And who are they to think that it's one rule for them and another for all of us? You know, they can't. Sure, I mean, I don't know. I know. So the police are investigating it, aren't they? And every time Boris is in any sort of interview, obviously he's getting asked about it at the moment because it's such a huge thing. And he's refusing to comment on it using the excuse, well, there's an investigation going on, so I can't comment on it. Which, in my opinion, is just the biggest, what's the word?
Like a cop-out type thing.
Yeah, biggest cop-out ever. Oh, I'm not going to discuss that because there's an investigation going on. Because you can't, because there is no way you can justify what you all did that day.
Yeah.
But realistically, is anything going to happen?
I don't know.
Are the police going to be able to do anything? Because I don't think that they can.
I don't know. Well, I've heard a lot of people saying Boris should resign because of it. I'm pretty much guaranteed that man will not resign.
No.
You know, I don't think he has a conscience. I don't think he cares. I can't ever see him resigning. And although people are calling for it, it's just not going to happen, is it?
No.
I've no idea what powers the police would have to. I mean, I guess the only thing that could happen, they get a fine. because that's what I guess would, if you or I had done that, and let's say I had a garden party, my neighbours reported me, the police came, they'd fine me, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And I guess that's the only powers really the police would have against those particular people who were involved.
Yeah.
Do you think would they care about fine?
No. What percentage of their wage is that?
Like
nothing, is it?
Yeah. It's just literally like pocket money to them, isn't it?
Exactly.
But it just makes a mockery of everything, and it just makes me feel cross because, you know, we've had the hardest 2 years ever, haven't we? And, you know, it's still ongoing. We're still, as much as I know Omicron is a lot less, but the variant is a lot less likely to hospitalise people and everything, but we're still really in the midst of a pandemic here. I've never known figures and numbers like it. Over Christmas, I can't believe how many people I knew, whether it be sort of friends, family, who they were hit with COVID over Christmas, and you know, really messed up all their plans. I don't know. It sort of feels a bit like, I don't know how you two feel, but it feels a bit like now, not that people think it's over, but because they know it's not as severe, people are just a bit like, oh well, you know, it's just crack on. Not mask wear. So many people not wearing masks again now, which really annoys me. So I saw a bus go past the other day. The whole top deck, not a single person had their mask on. And it's annoying, isn't it? I know we've sort of gone off on a bit of a tangent from the old number 10 thing, but I guess it's just, you know, this pandemic is still ongoing, and why is anyone going to, well, I guess, you know, the other side of the coin is maybe people aren't wearing masks. They're thinking, well, if Boris doesn't have to follow the rules, why should I? And that's half the problem, isn't it? But it'll be interesting. Well, I guess I don't think it will be interesting to see, because I'm pretty sure this will all be swept under the carpet and it will be something else will take over, and let's hope that people forget about it. Whether they will or not, I don't know. But also, whilst we're talking about COVID, so have you seen today that if you're asymptomatic and you test positive on a lateral flow, you don't have to go for a PCR now?
Oh, really?
From today. Only if you have no symptoms. If you have, you still have to isolate for 7 days. But if you test positive on a lateral flow now, and you've got no symptoms at all, you don't need a PCR, and you can just isolate for 7 days. Which I know they're trying to obviously relieve the pressures, because I think the amount of people requesting PCRs at the minute, and you know, I think they're at the highest they've ever been, and obviously that's then putting a strain on people in different employment, because the delay on getting their PCR, the delay on, you know, it's adding, which I get. I just find it really weird how the rules change so abruptly, because do you remember, like a while ago, they were like, well, you know, the lateral flows aren't 100% correct, so you have to have a PCR, and the PCR will be the one that determines. And now all of a sudden, they're okay now. Lateral flows are okay, and you know, if you've got no symptoms, just do a lateral flow and you'll be fine. I just find it weird, like how, you know, and now they're talking about, have you heard that they're thinking about, obviously isolation's gone from 10 days to 7, and now they're talking about reducing it from 7 to 5. It's like, it's just, I just find it all very strange how it can all change so suddenly. But a while ago it was so important that those 10 days were, you know, maybe it's to do with us all being vaccinated. I don't know. You know, maybe that's the reason why some of these things can change. But surely, but the lateral flow thing did make me question, because it's always been so widely said that it's the PCR that's the most important, and you know, so many false readings on lateral flows. So it makes you wonder how many people will test negative on the lateral flow, think they're okay, and then off out they go. I don't know, it's crazy. Anything else going on in the news that we can have a quick chat about before we go, other than COVID?
Something important that I've seen is there have been protests in Kazakhstan in the last few weeks. Let me share the article for you. I don't know if either of you have
I've not heard or seen anything about this.
So basically, the president told troops to shoot to kill without warning.
Oh, wow.
So basically, in Kazakhstan, there have been protests over increases in fuel prices. And people have just been obviously a bit furious about that. And there's been a 5-day blackout. 8,000 people have been detained. And in one statement, they released that 164 people have died. But now they've retracted that and said, actually, that was false information. And only 44 people have died.
Oh, my gosh.
So and Russian troops have been deployed into Kazakhstan to kind of try and control the protests. It started peaceful, then turned to violence and looting. And I think it's just quite funny because America has been questioning why Russia has been asked to go into Kazakhstan. And to me, it seems more of a political thing and a power struggle, because I was also reading that an intelligence chief was arrested on suspicion of terrorism.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I think for me, the fact that Russia are getting involved,
Yeah.
it just seems a little bit suspicious.
Yeah. That does seem a bit bizarre, doesn't it? So this has all just come from, so like you say, it started off as a peaceful protest, and then it's just obviously
escalated.
I mean, just the fact that they've said just shoot to kill, horrendous. What the hell?
Is that like anyone?
Yeah.
Including like children?
Yeah, they were saying clean-up operations, which is just awful.
That's such a like disgusting way to phrase it as well.
Yeah.
Clean up. Oh, goodness.
Bianca was telling me the other day that she'd met somebody when she was in Wigan whose wife was pregnant and she was in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
And obviously that she's trying to get over here, but due to these protests, everything kind of been put on hold.
Yeah.
And I think Bianca was saying how if something doesn't change soon, the wife will be too pregnant to fly.
Oh,
so I think it's
awful.
just disastrous thing that's happening over there.
And it's the knock-on effect of these things. And like you say, people being able to leave the country and just sort of get about their sort of day to day. That's really, really, really sad. And there's something's a bit fishy. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't seem quite.
The fact that Russia have got involved, I know they're on the border with Russia, but a lot of people are calling for Russian troops to be removed from the country.
100%. Oh, I guess we'll watch that space on that one. Maybe there'll be more info come out at a later date, but it is really sad. And gosh, let's just hope that not too many sort of more innocent people get affected by it all. Oh, that's sad. Okay, so that's us sort of done with this Breakfast Buddies. I guess, Beth, just give us what's going on at the yard this week. What can people come and join us with?
So tomorrow we've got Breakfast Buddies with yourself in the morning. And then in the afternoon from 4 till 6, we have our everyday education. It's where you can come along if you're a young person, do your homework, do any schoolwork or college work that you've got. Also during that time, we've got something called Just Living. So that's where Tashan is going to be cooking with us. So last week, he made potato and leek soup, which I'm not going to say it went particularly well. So hopefully we'll have more young people in on tomorrow, and then he'll be able to get some cooking skills from you lot, hopefully.
I mean, I saw a couple of photos in a video, and it looks like probably like the thickest soup I've ever seen, more like mashed potatoes. So maybe his soup needs a little bit of work on that.
Yeah. It's a learning opportunity for everyone.
Definitely. So you'll have to come along and find out what he's cooking tomorrow. And then after that, between 6 and 8:30, we have our Legends to Leaders project. So this is social activism, basically. So we're going to be going out in the community. And I know young people have said before how they're really concerned about accessibility. So not just in terms of disability, but also we have a lot of young people in the LGBTQIA+ group. So they're concerned about how they can get access to services in the town. So we're going to be doing some project work around that, which will be really good. Also on Wednesday, we have Sophia, the curator educator, doing her creative counselling. So that is where you can do some art, have a chat with Sophia, and on her website you can book a space with that, and that is free for young people. And then Thursday, we've got our Game Against Gangs project. Now, this project is a referral only thing, so you have to speak to us at the yard to get involved in that. So that's basically, you're going to be building computers, doing gaming and things like that, so that's really cool. And then Friday, we've got our open youth group, which is just come along, have a chill, play some pool, have a natter, do whatever you like. And then on Saturday, we've actually got a new thing that we started last week, which is Dungeons and Dragons and other games with Rachel. So how was that, Rachel? Good on Saturday?
Yeah, it was actually really fun, and it was nice to see people see the group get really into it and actually want to play a role and be involved in a story. So it's a really fun session, and I would love to see you guys if you want to join in. It's not too late.
What time is it on Saturdays, Rachel?
It starts on, well, last week we started at 1:30, but it normally starts at 12:30. So pop by, and it runs till, I believe, 5:30, just to
awesome.
play games. It doesn't just have to be Dungeons and Dragons. We got other games on offer as well, where we got pool tables. We also have a new game that I purchased called What Next, which is like a nice, simple choose your adventure game as well. And we've just got a variety of good selection, and everyone's very friendly and cool to play with. So please come down.
Yeah, so if you're bored on a Saturday afternoon, that's actually a great thing to go along to.
Yeah.
You know, meeting some new people, playing some games in a chilled and relaxed atmosphere. Then come down to 62 Gold Street, and the yard will be open, and Rachel will be very happy to see you all. Just a reminder, if you wanted to come along to one of my Breakfast Buddies sessions, so they're Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10:30 till 12:30. We are limiting the numbers just because we are keeping ourselves COVID safe. So drop me a message, book yourself a spot. You can contact me at the yard at communitycourtyard.org or on any of our social media. And lastly, don't forget, if you're in the Grosvenor Centre today in town, pop in, go up to the hub and see Amy, and Bianca might still be there. And it's your chance to have a voice as a young person. Tell them what makes you feel safe in the town centre, what doesn't. It's only by speaking up for things that we're going to be able to change things. So it's really important. Or
Definitely.
as a parent, you've got strong views on what's keeping your children safe or not. Again, go in and have a chat with them, because the more opinions and voices that are heard, the more likely we are that we can change things and make it a better place for our young people, which is what inevitably we all want.
Yeah.
So right, ladies, thanks for joining me this morning. Great chat.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you all soon. Take care, everyone.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.